Okay.
Yeah. So, hey, Ro, man, first of all, I want to thank you coming to the show. I appreciate you taking out this time to do this. Just in case some people haven't tuned in and don't know what the premise of this show is, it's called The Glue. This is episode 9. The show is based upon people that are successful in their lives and who are the people that pretty much help facilitate that success, and those are the glue people. So that's basically how the show works. And we go into a few topics and we allow the guests to voice their opinion, and then we just keep it moving. That's how it works.
Man, thanks a lot. I appreciate you even offering to have me on.
Absolutely, Rodell. I appreciate you being here. I don't know where Ken at, but I'm gonna keep it moving because, like I said, we on a time thing here. I don't want to hold your time up. So the way it usually starts is we start off with with the COVID-19, unprecedented times. Everybody in the world is affected by it. So I just want to ask, how has it affected you and your family directly?
Yeah, it's definitely an unprecedented time. It's something that, we have never seen in our lifetime and probably will never see again. It's affected my family in a lot of different ways, but none, thankfully, from a health standpoint. But the fact that now my son is in school here at home, he's doing distance learning. My wife's at home with me, and then also now I'm at home. So, it has kept us in the house a little bit more than we're used to. But one of the things is it also makes us grateful for the people that we have in our lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me ask you, Debbie, is there anybody you know that has been directly, like a relative or a close friend or a neighbor possibly, or anybody?
Yeah, one of my wife's friends passed due to the COVID, so it kind of hit home there.
Well, hold on, wait a minute. Did you say she passed?
Yes,
Oh man,
yes.
sorry to hear that.
So it kind of hit home there, and it was definitely personal from that standpoint. And thankfully, we have not been affected by it, on a larger scale.
Wow, man, that's deep, man. I'm sure your wife was kind of torn up over that, including yourself, seeing you were married. So you guys kind of have the same heart, really, at this time.
Yeah, definitely a tough time. You can grow stronger in a situation like this, though. So that's the one thing we've done is we've come together and become even tighter.
Hmm. Yeah, well, I was gonna say also, being in Chicago, all these cities have been having different, the general public I'm speaking on has been, you know, having their own way of how they're going to handle COVID. Some cities have been staying in place, really following the protocols by the governors of their states. And in some cities, some areas, in certain areas, not all, there's never no all in behavior, but we have seen some cities be more defiant and more like, hey man, I'm good. I ain't tripping off this and whatever. I saw a few reports out of Chicago where some cats was playing flag football and stuff like that. But we had the same thing in San Diego. We had some people out here doing things they weren't supposed to do. So have you been seeing anything, particularly in your neighborhood? If everybody around you, are they staying in place, wearing masks, or are they kind of like business as usual?
And I think the shelter in place thing, a lot of people are starting to take it more seriously based on how the numbers are going up here in Chicago. There are a younger generation of people who really just they don't care, to be honest with you. So they're out there doing the things that they normally do. But one of the things that I'm trying to stress with, my family and my son is to make sure that we stay safe. And us staying safe is going to keep others safe as well.
Excellent. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. We've been really following the protocol. I go out to the store and stuff. My wife is high risk because she has, problems, lungs and all that kind of stuff. So she's high risk. So she took it really serious, and she works in the medical field. So she's been right before COVID. I think March 13th. She was already aware of what was going on because we went to the Bay Area to go see my mom pass away up in February. So when I went up there to go,
Definitely sorry to hear about that too. I did see that through social media.
yeah, thank you, Rodell. It's a tough lady, man. So I went up there for a funeral, and as soon as we got out of the airport, SFO, I was like, man, look at all these people with masks on. But we really didn't trip too much on it because, it's a large Asian population in the Bay Area, and they generally wear a lot of masks anyway in the public. A lot of people from across the country don't probably know that, but a lot of Chinese folks, they walk around with masks on anyway, even without COVID. So I didn't really trip off of it. But then we got like closer to, we got into the air terminal, we started seeing more diversity. And then I started seeing nobody with masks on. So I didn't think much of it. But then by the time I got back to San Diego, it was all like it was what they just took a while. Like, okay, here we go. So the Bay Area was already hit with it a little bit already before it went national, and so
I happened to be in Vegas when the news really broke and everything started to shut down. So it was kind of an awakening for us. At that point in time, we said, man, this thing is serious. But to be honest with you, I never thought it would get to the point where we are now, where we are all sheltering in place and trying to stay safe.
Yep, and that's pretty much what I been emphasizing to my family, my kids. Like they, she's doing this, homeschool and all that. So it's interesting now. So with that being said, San Diego is going to open their bars up today. Some people told me they already did it yesterday. They're going to have a limit of how many people go in. I get all that. I'm not really hating on that because okay, here's the thing. If you don't have it right now and you've been sheltering in place, you go out. I'm just speaking on the fact that I don't buy the theory of, okay, somebody opened up a bar last night and then the next morning, 30 people got COVID out of there. How did you know that? First of all, did all those people just get up in the morning and say, I'm going to the hospital to get a COVID test? And then all of a sudden the test came back immediately, right in time for the press to release the story that it's a hotspot at the place that was closed for 90 days, but now it opened and 50 people went there and drank. And then the next morning, 30 people got COVID out of there. So I just find that kind of like, come on, man. Because here's the thing, and just in general, if someone doesn't believe in the COVID-19 or believe that they might believe it exists. So we make two parts. They might believe it exists, but some people believe that, hey, my immunity is good. I do really good cleaning. I scrub myself down. I'm good. So there's two different theories. I don't believe in it completely, and I ain't changing what I've been doing, or I believe it's out there, but I believe it's low risk for me to go do A, B, C, D. So that's the part that I don't really buy because, I'm pretty sure once these bars open in San Diego tonight, tomorrow morning, some report's going to come out. 30 people got COVID. Because the thing is, man, if you don't believe in it, why would you wake up the next morning and go get a test?
That's definitely true.
My immunity is good. I'm good. So you go out to this bar, you don't drink, and you wake up the next morning, let me get a COVID test. And then I don't think most people know what that test pertains. It's not a fun test. Ken, I wish he'd get his butt on here, but his son described the test. They take a big old Q-tip, shove that thing all the way to the back of your nose and down, and then pull that thing back out. That's a COVID test. So it's not a test that a lot of people are going to rush out to take just because they went and had a beer last night. So that just really hurt. I don't buy that.
Yeah, I definitely heard about the seriousness of the test and what it entails. So it's not something that people are going to just run and jump and do. So, I mean, it's definitely crazy. I know Illinois is on the track to open some things back up, but the mayor of Chicago is saying that she's probably going to hold off a little bit longer. Just better safe than sorry.
Yeah, excellent. I agree. So I don't know what's going to happen out here. California is so vast, it's so long, different counties, a lot of cities, but we've got Gavin Newsom. He's going to have to pull the plug on that and see what's going on. But let me move on real quick, Rodell. At this point, go ahead and obviously I know who you are. We grew up a little bit, we grew up in elementary school. Are you playing the sax? I'm playing the trumpet. I think I got to at least I got to the third seat, 2C. I got to the 2C. I remember I can't remember the kid was in our band when we were first of all we were Lincoln marching band.
Yeah.
Remember they merged us with Garfield and they called it a Lincoln Garfield.
The LG band.
Right. We were just Lincoln because I think about 8 of or 9 of us got chosen for that creative art class at Lincoln. Me, you, Trent, a few of us, and we would go in the morning and had the little folders and all that, and then everybody got. But I think I got to the second year, but I can't remember his name, Rodell. Who was the there wasn't that many Mexican kids, Puerto Rican kids in our school. Who was the one? Do you remember the Mexican kid that played the trumpet that was in that band? I can't remember.
I don't remember that. That's been quite some time.
I know. He's number one, though. He was number one. So if I had his name, I would give him props. He could blow that horn. I got to the 2 seat, I think. And how far did you get in your role?
Man, I think I got to the 2 seat as well. I think Yolanda Lee was the 1 seat on the sax. I remember her. She was really good.
Yes, she was good. Absolutely. So, yeah, well, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Go ahead and start off in Dixmoor and work your way all the way up to Rosa Parks. And, if you want to throw in the transition when it went from Rosa Parks to McKinley to Rosa Parks, that'd be a great piece because a lot of people probably don't even know who Rosa Parks is. They kind of do. They know Harriet Tubman, but they don't know
Yeah.
what she brought to the table. So go ahead, Ro. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing and take us all the way up to where you're at right now.
Yeah, my upbringing was kind of a lot like yours. I mean, obviously, growing up in Dixmoor, Illinois, which a lot of people may not know where it is. It's a small south suburb of Chicago, but it was a real family-oriented community. And the good thing about us, I lived in the middle of Circle Drive, and you lived on one end of Circle Drive. And between you and myself, there probably were 10 or 11 different kids that were our age. So it was good for us to be able to grow up and have a lot of people to associate with and to get into positive things with. So I really enjoyed that time there. Obviously, we went to Lincoln School, which was the elementary school there in Dixmoor, which was my first time really getting into organized sports. I remember our coach there, Charlie Sanders. Boy, he used to be tough on us. If you missed a layup, you was on the line and you knew it. So that kind of gave me the background to want to continue to go on and continue to play. After we left there, we went to, I think it was McKinley at
It's
first.
McKinley.
Yeah, it was McKinley. And then during our time there, they actually changed the name to Rosa Parks, which was one of the great civil rights leaders that people don't know a lot about. But if you check your history, you can find out about that. And I'm gonna leave that up to some people to go ahead and figure it out. I'm not gonna tell them who it is because I want people to go and do the research, especially in this time where they have a lot of time.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate that point.
Yeah, yeah. It was at Rosa Parks where I really started to come into my own on the basketball court. When we were at Lincoln, you and I, we just were big, so we could push people around a little bit. But at Rosa Parks, when we got there as sixth graders, they had eighth graders there who were bigger than us, so we had to refine our skills. And it was really a good time for me to grow as a person and as a basketball player, not always being the biggest or the best. Helped me work on my game a lot. We actually won state championships there. I took a third there as well. So it got me on a winning track and it helped me continue to grow and want to be a winner throughout the course of my career. Fortunate enough from there, I went to Thornton High School in Harvey, which is probably what really shaped me to be the player that I was, in college. And I played with some really good guys there. I played with guys that went to Auburn, went to Wisconsin, went to UAB, went to Northern Iowa, and then myself being able to go to Iowa from there. It really helped me every day in practice in high school to play against those Division I level guys, and those guys tested me. They pushed me, and that's where my toughness came from. I was really able to grow as a person there as well. I learned a lot about people that were different from me in high school because it wasn't always like that in elementary and junior high.
Hey, bro, let me interrupt you for 1 minute. I really apologize. We got my co-host Kenny Pitts on here. Kenny, this is my buddy Rodell. I gave you a little background. Just go ahead and want to say hello to make sure you understand you on here.
What's happening, man?
What's up, KP? How are you?
Man, I'm good. Just chilling, man. Trying to stay healthy and stay out the way.
Man, I think you and everybody else in the country trying to do the same thing.
So Ro, just real quick and pick up back in your story. Can you just go ahead real quickly to Thornton Township High School? Can you tell them how many kids go to that school, what level you play in the state of Illinois, and go back to what you were saying?
Yeah, there's over 2,500 kids in the school, and then back then there were only two classifications. It was A and double A. Actually played in double A. My first year there, we made it downstate to the Elite Eight. Actually lost to a really good team in the Elite Eight who went on to take second. And then after that, it was a struggle to get back down there.
When you say downstate for some of us, what do you mean downstate for us for Illinois? What are you saying? Springfield? You saying Peoria? Gemini?
Yeah. So back then, downstate for us was at the University of Illinois. It was in Champaign. It has since moved to Peoria now, and that's where it's located.
Got you.
I played there as a freshman, which was really good for me. It kind of got me a bigger picture of, just outside of my scope and my area of what's going on. And that also helped me continue to grow. Had an opportunity to go to some national camps, some in New Jersey, some in Pittsburgh. So it made me become a more known commodity to people when it came to recruiting. So I was on the recruiting scene. My final schools were Iowa, obviously, Minnesota, Northwestern, and Pitt. So I had a good variety of schools that I could have gone to. And for people always ask me this question, well, for you to have those kind of schools, where were you ranked? Rankings were a little bit different then, but I think I was about a top 40 kid, which would be maybe a 4-star in what today is.
Right.
So got to Iowa and then had a major knee injury my first year there, which was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me because it helped me start to take academics more seriously. Being able to graduate from a Big Ten university allowed me to do the things that I'm doing now and put me in place to kind of live a good life and show my children the way of what academics can do for you.
Absolutely.
When I got there, we had a big three there: B.J. Armstrong, Roy Marble, Ed Horton. Those guys taught me to really work hard and to continue to grow as a player. They showed me the way in life as a college student. And those are things that I'll never forget. I really appreciate those guys for that. They helped me. And then what I wanted to do in turn, when I became an upperclassman, I did the same thing for the guys who were coming behind us. So Iowa's one big happy family. I mean, I still stay in touch with a lot of those guys to this day. And it's really a unique place because when I chose Iowa, the first thing people said, Iowa, why are you going to the cornfields?
Well, let me just let people know that if you don't live in the city of Chicago, Illinois is a cornfield. So I think a lot of people they get our state really twisted. They see the gangster movies, Al Capone, and obviously Jordan and all that stuff, but they don't take that little left or that right and head down them little freeways because if you did, you know it's some cornfields. You know it's some cornfields. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, definitely. But what I tell people all the time, the reason why I chose Iowa was because of the people. Honestly, it was like the first place that I've ever lived where I went into the grocery store and everybody said hello. You know, it was just different. I really enjoyed my time there. Obviously, the injury kind of sidetracked me, but it helped me academically. And that's what was most important for me to continue to grow as a person and also as a student. So now in the position that I'm in, I can continue to help people through my experiences and let them know I have firsthand knowledge of what can happen to you if you don't take your academics seriously.
Absolutely. While you right there on that part, and I'll let you continue. So you're coming out of Thornton, you got Pittsburgh, you got Iowa, Minnesota, you got these schools looking at you. And at this time, I'm following you still a little bit because I'm like, I'm still not really adjusted to California. It's only 87. I didn't get here to 83, so I'm not like blown Cali. I'm still got a lot of Chicago instincts. I'm still following my homies around. I'm watching Bud go to UTEP, and I'm watching Tracy go to Wisconsin and all this kind of stuff. So me personally, might have had my magic school would have been DePaul. But that's just me, because me and you, when we were growing up, we just loved that DePaul team, all those boys, Tommies and all that. But let me. This is important because so Ken's gonna chime in a minute. His son made it all the way to the highest level, and he playing in Europe right now. He took a path through Weber State, following Damian Lillard, which is one of Ken's kids that he actually trained on his AAU team. They grew up together, Damian Lillard and his son. And I think a lot of kids in the Bay Area have never been afraid to go to those small schools like Oregon State, Gary Payton. A lot of cats, they shun those schools when they get their name ringing. So my question to you, I know all the coaches that were in your conference when you was coming in. You had some beasts in your conference. You got Dr. Tom Davis, Gene Cady. I mean, you had I believe at the time, Fisher got the Michigan job, or was it still Frieder had Michigan, and so all these programs, and I think the late Judd Heathcote was over at Michigan State, I believe. So y'all had legendary coaches as well as the Big East. That's when all the big boys was there: Raleigh, Massimino, John Thompson, all them. but you said something to me that really resonates with me. You said when I arrived to Ames, it's not Ames. I'm sorry, you got mad at that.
Please don't say that.
When you ride to Iowa City, when you ride to Iowa City, you said something that really resonated with me, and I think it's important. Ken's gonna probably piggy on this. Is that you said you were already there with B.J. Armstrong, Roy Marble, and Horton, and what I don't think that you knew this when you went there. But look at these guys' career paths and look how their lives turn out. BJ was part of the first three-peat of the Bulls and then went on to play good basketball later on for a few more teams. Never had his name in the paper for nothing bad. Still look exactly the same. That's amazing.
For sure. Yeah.
And then you got Roy Marble, who was an excellent high school prospect, and really showed that it wasn't just high school and really lit it up. I think he was Big Ten Player of the Year as a freshman, and he was all Big Ten a couple times, I recall. And Horton exactly the same, grinding his way up to be an all Big Ten performer. So can you tell if any young players or anybody, a parent listen probably, like when a kid is getting ready to get recruited and pick that school, that how important to do a little background on the seniors that are on the club or up at who's a junior going to be a senior or who's a sophomore going to be the junior, because that can really have an impact on your child when they hit that campus.
Yeah, I definitely think you want to know who the upperclassmen are because they're going to be the ones that lead your child. I think that's the biggest thing that you want to know as a parent. And then also as a player, you want to know who can I depend on to be there when times get tough or, when things aren't going well, who can I go to? You always have your coaches, but it's nothing like your teammates. And then when you look at the roster, you want to look at a roster and try to see where you fit in. I think that's a big part of it as well. For me, I just thought it was a great fit because they were a new coaching staff coming in and they knew they wanted to play a different style of basketball. And I thought that style of basketball, being that up-tempo style, suited my game well.
Absolutely. You were definitely a high flyer. There's no doubt about that. Hey, KP, why don't you go ahead and touch upon that, the process of when Davion was grinding his way out of high school, getting to that point, not really getting the good looks at Cal, Stanford, just like Eddie House, how he got overlooked by Cal, and he ended up going to Arizona State. And I know Eddie very well, and Eddie will tell you straight up. He said, "Hey, Brown, I was in Club One." He said, "Man, when I come back to the Bay, I'm gonna light Cal ass up." And I said, "Man, you ain't got to really get all vengeance about it and everything, but, do your thing, Eddie. You can drop that three." He said, "No, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting the nickel on them." I was like, "Man, this cat crazy." And I was like, "He just mad." So we go home. Arizona State come in town. Eddie House, 55 on him. And then he wasn't satisfied with the 55 on Cal. He go across the way to Stanford and drop 40 on them. And then he go down to UCLA, drop 40 on them. He lit up the whole West Coast. And so when you are coming from a town and you've been killing everybody in your high school circuit, AAU, giving it to them, and then these colleges go pluck a guy off the bench that you just gave him 50 and say, "I want to give him a scholarship," and don't even look at you, I believe that put a chip on your shoulder. And I do believe it will make you a better player if you can embrace the chip. So, Ken, tell us about how the hell Davion makes it all the way to the NBA, G League, Euro. Damian Lillard, D. Lil is killing it in Weber State. That's all you got?
So, with Dev probably was, his downfall was the academics.
Okay.
He took him serious, but not 100% serious. He always felt that his game would get him to where he needed to go. So then he learned the hard way. So before he got to Weber, he went to Monterey Bay.
Okay.
And that was his first college, D2. And, he told Patch in Monterey, freshman of the year, newcomer of the year, all kind of accolades and stuff from Weber. I mean, not Weber, excuse me, from Monterey. And so Coach Ray up at Weber had always had an eye on Dev. And so, Dev reached out to a couple schools like, "Hey, I got my grades is right. I qualified for D1. I'm trying to make a transfer." So he got at a couple schools. St. Mary's wanted him bad. When St. Mary's caught wind that Weber wanted him, they start putting their bid in. But I felt that was kind of fate, like too little, too late. Like, and they knew Dev. They've seen Dev since he was little in the AAU because they pluck a lot of their people out of the, Pleasanton, Danville area.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's always had the skills. He's had to show it. He had to prove it. And, even after graduating from Weaver and going to certain camps and stuff, he would light people up and still wouldn't get credit because he went to Weaver. Like, they'd be at the camps and it'd be all kind of players from the Big Ten and the ACC, and he tearing a patch in them. And a lot of players would give him props and say, hey, don't nobody come from no little school and come from California and do this. Like, keep doing your thing. So sometimes it gets political. And with Dame had some big schools. Dame went to a school, I'm not gonna pop no names or nothing like that, but one school in the East Coast, he's running with him in the gym, and they pass the ball to everybody but him. He's wide open, they skip passing, they wouldn't pass him the ball. That night he told the coach, hey, I'm gonna go back home because it's not gonna be a good fit for me. Went to another college on the East Coast, and they passed him the ball. They seen he had some skills. They was, playing and everything was cool. They get back to the little dorm thing. He get out the shower, everybody gone.
Mm.
The whole team then left. And left the one California dude, like they just left the Cali dude. So, that was another school. Well, with coach, I don't feel it. I'm not going to go here. Went to Weaver, whole city showing him love. Team feeding him the ball. He's spreading the love, like he felt the love. And sometimes, it's not about the name. It's about where you feel that love, where you feel the realness. So, Oakland people got a real sense of when you being fake and when you being real, and what would be a good fit. And Weaver was a good fit, so he chose Weaver. But in the same breath, Cal wasn't looking at him, Stanford wasn't looking at him, UCLA, all these Cali teams. So when you get a player from the Bay, we already got a chip on our shoulder, but don't give us an extra chip, because we'll put that extra chip on our shoulder and use that as motivation as well.
That's what I'm getting at. All the players that we grew up and trained, and Coach Ken, and even our group, all that, we know all those cats. We ain't doing that name dropping because that ain't what our show about. But I can tell you right now, I wrote out the players that come out of Oakland, California Bay Area, particularly. I can't speak for the whole entire Bay, but I can speak for Oakland. They half those guys that make it to the NBA Hall of Famers, they would not have been there if they didn't get screwed over in the recruiting process. I'm gonna keep it like that. Even my boy J.R. Ryder, I can't speak on him. He's gonna come on and do a show, and he's gonna talk about his process, how he was shitting on Damon Bailey and all these cats and Stackhouse and all of them, and because he was a bad guy, bad rep, come from Oakland, they didn't want to mess with him. Tarkanian comes all the way out to Alameda. He out of the street ball court. We out there playing. He do a couple of dunks, and then after that, they offer him a scholarship. So I just like to really let people hear y'all stories and how the process go, because a lot of parents don't really know. And then if that's only their first kid, for sure they don't know anything. So I appreciate both of y'all sharing those stories. Now, Rodell, I know you got to get out of here. Can you touch upon, now you are graduated from Iowa. They want to find out about your career. You actually are on YouTube. So they can find out how you got now. A couple of injuries, you know what I'm saying? I knew that. It broke my heart because I was following you your freshman year. And I think you would have got a lot of run your freshman year, if I recall. If that sophomore year would have been a big year for you. But tell me about, now you got the knowledge, you're back home, and you're coaching high school basketball. And I believe you won 2 state championships with Morgan Park, or am I one?
Yeah, it was 2.
So go ahead and pick us up right there. Now you're coaching high school basketball, and now you're trying to be a mentor to these kids.
I'll run it down to you, and I had quite a few stops, so I'm going to go through them a little bit quick.
Cool.
Out of college, I went to coach at a Division III college, University of Wisconsin-Platteville, where Bo Ryan was the head coach. So I coached with him for a year. Then I came back and I coached at Thornwood High School, which is in South Holland, Illinois, which is a rival of my high school. When I was there,
is that where Eddie Curry went?
That's where he went. Yes, yes. But when I was there, Thornton had their heyday then because they had all of the NFL guys, Ty Streets, Antoine Randall, Napoleon Harris, and then Melvin Eli was an NBA guy. So leaving there, I went to Proviso East, where I had an opportunity to coach some really good players. Probably the most well-known player is Shannon Brown, who won 2 championships with the Lakers. Actually, from there, that is when I got back into college coaching. I went out on a limb and I took a job in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I took a head junior college job at Laramie County Community College, man. It was like crazy.
Been there.
Yeah, yeah. I went out there and I didn't know if I wanted to really stay there, but my wife thought it was a great career move. And of course, she was right.
Yeah.
Wife always right.
The wife was always right.
Exactly.
I'm about to say Thanksgiving. Did she go like this, bro? Did she go like this?
She was like, no, she was like, you better stay your tail out there.
Right.
So left there, went to Drake, was there 1 year. We kind of caught lightning in the bottle, had a great season. And then the next year I was in the Big East coaching at Providence. Stayed there for 3 years, came back here, Coach Loyola of Chicago. And then I had an opportunity to do something I thought was good for me to get into the administrative side of athletics. I took an athletic director job at Kennedy King College here in the city, which I thought was really good for me because I can prolong my career in athletics and not have to always be coaching and to have more knowledge. And it's paying off for me now because now I know why athletic directors have to say no or why they can do certain things. So it's given me some more insight there. Then I had the chance to go to Morgan Park. We won the 2 championships, and then now at Chicago State in a rebuilding phase. This is our 2nd recruiting class coming in now. Excited about the young men we have and looking forward to just competing again, when we can get out of this COVID stop.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. And one of the things I wanted to bring up, not one the backtrack, Proviso East, is that where Michael Finley went?
It is, yeah.
Okay. I just want to do my fact check because I gotta plug all my Chicago guys. You know what I'm saying? Just want to make sure everybody know I ain't just out here just wolfing. I've been trying to tell them like, don't be buying into that New York is the mecca of basketball. Man, you are out of your mind. Do your homework. Chicago is the mecca of basketball. You better understand. So, man, but let me ask you this. Lost my train of thought. So, Chicago State, I did some research. They had a little checker pass and stuff. We ain't gonna get into that because you're working over there. But what I do know, and I can speak on, that is a beautiful campus. Why don't kids want? I saw, man. Hey, KP, you know what this campus remind me of? And on the West Coast, damn it, I'm gonna say it's kind of like a mini Stanford, KP. It is absolutely gorgeous, bro. It reminds you of some. The architecture, the grass, the green, the layout. I'm like, don't nobody want to go here? I'm like, because some of these other top schools, when the parents they go visit them, they only see that school, but because they don't go take the trip to the smaller schools. But if they can see that the difference of the campuses from these big power schools and these little smaller schools, man, they killing it on the lower levels. Go ahead and explain that campus.
Yeah, I think the one thing is you ask why kids don't want to go there. Kids just want to get away from home, first off. That's one of the things that we are working on in recruiting. We're working on building those relationships and trying to give them some reason to come. So we're excited about what's going on there. The campus, you're right, it's definitely nice. It's on the south side of Chicago, but when you pull up and you're on campus, it's just one big campus feel. It's not like you're in the middle of a city and you have things separated by buildings and things like that. We do have a unique campus. And during our COVID time, we weren't able to have people come on campus. So it was kind of unique. We did some Zoom visits and we gave them aerial shots of campus. Which is really nice because it's a tree-lined campus and everything. You can see the separation from the city and the campus. So, man, we got some things to sell, man. We just really trying to work to make this thing happen.
I saw you guys got a new basketball floor in there. Got some new wood in there, huh?
Yeah, got new wood this year, which is definitely good for us. In recruiting, kids like new. So new locker rooms, new wood, new different things, anything you can do. We call it an arms race in the business. If you can continue to keep up with everybody, you're gonna have a chance to recruit those kids once you get them on campus.
Nice. Hey, Ken, I know you had a couple questions. Maybe we give another question about his career, or basketball, or G League, anything. This man got a wealth of knowledge, and then we're gonna move on to his glue people and get him out of here.
So, do you think that the G League should pay the players more? Because I know a lot of good players that prefer to go overseas because they can make comparable or more money than the G League.
Yeah, Ken, I think it's something that they're going to have to revisit. If they want to keep those good kids at home and keep them from going over to Europe, I think they definitely need to do that. I think for them to become the minor leagues of the NBA and maintain a stranglehold on that talent, they definitely need to do that.
Okay, that's fair. One of the things that I think was probably, now that COVID has hit, I think, I mean, I hate to say benefit of somebody's dying. Anybody listening, I'm not saying that. But one of the things that the NBA is going to benefit from COVID is that basketball has been taken away. So if they can really, like you said, Ken, if they can find a way to increase those salaries, I believe now kids have been at home, not being able to move and do different things, they will be more inclined to sign with a G League. Because for me, if it was me, I'm just saying me, I would sign with a G League team before a European team because I have full confidence in myself. I believe I will get to the league. If my dream was to play in the NBA, and I know that the fastest track is to be up under these NBA executives and coaches and scouts and personnel, I will take that pay cut. That's just me. I wouldn't suggest that for somebody else. If I can go to Turkey for 1.3 million and I can go to a G League team for 600,000, I'm going to the G League because I believe that exposure is going to fast track you. Your play in Europe is definitely going to get you looked at, no doubt. But their exposure, if they throw you on a national TV game or something before an NBA game or try to dabble with something like that, a Saturday afternoon G League game, all you got to do is have a really good game. And now all of a sudden, LeBron tweets out, "Oh, man, Brown, that kid was giving them the business." These players can actually get you in the NBA just by saying your game is solid. So, Ro, what do you think about that? How the power of the players in the league, how they can just tweet out, and just say, "Hey, man, like this kid is the stuff." Trae Young and how Quavo and all of them are making him. I'm not knocking Trae Young. The boy can play, but let's be realistic. They ain't winning nothing down there in Atlanta. They won like 17 games. So as good as he is, he ain't better than Dominique when they was. They were at least going to the Eastern Conference Finals, playing up against Jordan and Cleveland, Brad Daugherty, and them. But now you don't have to really win to be a star basketball player. What is your thoughts on that?
I think, first off, to talk about your thing on the G League, the one thing you said is important. Being in the G League is good for you because you get to be seen by those executives. And then if they need to call somebody up, you're readily available. You are already here, as opposed to being in Europe and then not being able to get that call up. So that's one thing. And a lot of people bet on themselves to make sure, hey, I'm in a position. If they have to call somebody up, I'm right here. From a standpoint of the NBA, I'll be honest with you, I don't watch it as much because I'm all college basketball. I know the names, I watch some of the games, but I really don't watch it to the playoffs, to be honest with you.
Okay, word up on that. That's fair. So, hey, at this point, right now, you talk about growing up as a kid and all that, and Dixmoor, Thornton, Iowa, your coaching career. Man, you have a hell of a coaching career. Let me just go ahead, hats off to you on that one, man. You've really been getting busy, man. I've been trying to follow you, and even your boy T-Dub, he was out here at Cal. He came over for a barbecue. I gave him let him know that Chi-Town barbecue. I'm still good on the grill. So he came over my house and we talked when he was at Cal and everything, and it was a good time. Yeah. So it was like to see Tracy. But man, tell us a little bit about your glue people. Who was a real impact inside your household? Any neighborhood people? Any coaches? For me, I just say my glue people in Dixmoor was obviously my Uncle Buddy. That gave us our paper routes. We all threw the paper around. And I remember Dr. Leon Hendricks, our principal at Lincoln, and Coach Jackson. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and tell us about your glue people, man.
Man, number one, my glue people started in my house. I mean,
yes, sir.
That's the biggest thing with me. I grew up living with my grandparents. So my grandmother Mildred, she actually was my first basketball coach, to be honest with you. They put a hoop up on the garage and she would go out there with me every day and she would watch me shoot. Here's a good story about her too. One time I asked her to shoot and she didn't shoot and I laughed at her. She said, okay, it's gonna be plenty of times somebody gonna laugh at you when you miss shots.
Right? You'll get your turn.
You'll get your turn. So, and then my grandfather Willie, he was a cement mason. Man, I'm telling you, snow, rain, sun, whatever it was, he was one of the hardest working men that I ever met. And the thing that kind of spurred me along and wanted me to do education was a conversation that he had with me. I used to work summer jobs with him. We used to lay like patios and do different driveway projects. And it was tough. You know, we would come home at night and I'll say, man, I don't know how you do it. He said, well, I'll tell you what, if you don't want to do it, you better make sure you get your education. That's really important. So, you know, I definitely learned my work ethic from him and making sure that I put that time in every day and whatever it is and be great at whatever I'll do. And then also my mom, man. My mom was a lifelong educator. She pushed education to the max with me. And I think that was something that was really good for me because I needed that nudge at times. I can remember one time as a senior, I'm already committed to go to Iowa. I've signed and everything, and I didn't do well on a trig test or something like that. And she's like, oh, you can't play. I'm going to call the teacher and ask her if you can take it over. If you don't get a B, you're not playing.
Wow.
Like, man, shoot, I ain't going to get no B. I don't know how that's going to work.
Wow.
It's hard.
Man, trig is tough. But sure enough, you know, teacher allowed me to retake it. And I actually got a pretty good grade on it. I ain't going to say it was a B, but I got a good grade. It was an improvement.
Right.
And, you know, she has been that way all of my life and pushing me academically. Another glue person, Mark, and I think it's probably one of your glue people as well, is my junior high coach, Troy Jackson. Troy Jackson is actually a person who cares more about his players than he cares about himself, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
He's more selfless than anybody that you'll ever be around. And I actually had the honor to work for him at Proviso East too. So going back and sharpening my skills with him really helped me out. And I think that was just, that's the thing that kind of pushed me a little bit more towards getting back to college. Cause he was like, man, you're good. You know, you got to make sure that you line yourself up to be in a position where you can succeed in this profession. So I thought he was another person that really took care of me. And then, man, there's countless other people.
Of course.
I could go on and on, but I'll tell you what, those are the major people who really pushed me through this thing and helped me along the way. It all starts at home, though. I had 5 uncles at home who were good people. They did things the right way. They never got in any trouble. And I aspired to be them. Even though Mike was around when everything was, you know, when I was growing up, those were my role models. Those were the people I wanted to be like. Not like Mike, but I wanted to be like them. So definitely appreciate all that they have done for me in my lifetime. And with me, it's all family, man. Family first.
Yeah, yeah. Well, with that being said, so go ahead and let everybody know in case they don't know. You got a beautiful wife, and you got your son. Talk a little bit about how important they've been. You following around chasing all the sound. You've been going to all these damn schools and colleges and stuff. Your family, they gotta be right there solid with you. So talk about their role.
Yeah, man. My wife is a trooper, man. I've known her since we've been in the 3rd grade, and she is the one who she backed.
Wait a minute, 3rd grade? You mean to tell me I had a shot? Wait a minute, where's she at? Look at my picture. Where was she at? Row 2? No. 3rd. She was at school with us, bro?
Yeah, she didn't go to Lincoln, but she went to Rosa Parks with us.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Was she friends with Carol, Samara, and all them, or?
No, she was a year ahead of us.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Yeah.
No wonder why you was never around after basketball practice. We walk over the railroad tracks, and then I don't see Rodell. Okay.
Yeah. So she's been a trooper, man. She done helped me through this thing, and then obviously my kids haven't moved around a lot. Hasn't always been easy on them. I'll share a quick story with my son RJ Rodell Jr. So he was born in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So that's a little something
Interesting.
that's different.
That's different.
At two, he moved to Iowa. At 3, he moved to Massachusetts. At 4, he moved to Rhode Island. Poor kid, by the time he was 5, didn't know his phone number or his address. But it wasn't his fault.
Hey, RJ, I know. Oh, man. Look, RJ, don't worry, buddy. You're the only loose star that's born in Cheyenne. Man, that's real.
Yeah, definitely, man. They have allowed me, I've been blessed enough that they have allowed me to pursue my dreams. And they've been there every step of the way with me. So, I mean, I really appreciate them and all that they have sacrificed, for me in the overall scheme of things.
That's awesome, man. I'm really proud to know. I'm proud to say I knew you, grew up with you, and a lot of us, man. That's why I created the show. I wanted to share some stories. If at the very least, I want to share my best friend's stories. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to go. I don't need to go do regurgitated talk about Jordan, Barrett, and LeBron. I ain't got time for all that crap. So I just wanted to do something that was really cool, man. Hey, Ken, you got anything else for my boy, man? It's like my brother, right? You got something for him, Ken? Ken, go ahead and do that little last part we usually do. Get that in so Ro can get out of here.
Oh, the plug.
Yes, sir.
It's a spot where you plug some businesses that's helpful to the community, or just some businesses that you like to support and want to get a good word out of them for them. So go ahead and give them the plug.
And one last thing, Ro, we also, since it's COVID, go ahead and give a shout out to a frontline worker that you want to recognize, and please don't let it be somebody that run a liquor store. Go ahead.
Hey, don't hate on the liquor store, man. That's I'm about to go have a sip after we get off, man.
Right.
Hey, here's one thing I'll say, man. I've been on a lot of Zooms, man, but this is the one that I have had the most fun with. I hope one day I can come back home, man, and we can.
Absolutely. Anytime, bro. Anytime.
Yeah. Hey, for a plug, man, there's really nothing that I have that I want to plug right away, but I do want to thank all of the people out there on the front line, man. They landed on the line every day. They putting their lives on the lines for us. They trying to help us continue to grow and continue to beat this thing. My wife works in a hospital, so I'm giving a shout out to Stephanie Davis, who is my #1 frontline worker.
Nice.
All right. Well, since you don't want to plug nobody, I'm a plug somebody in there for you.
Plug it for me, KP.
I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the Oakland Rebels, because this is Coach Melvin, the founder of the Oakland Rebels, and it's his birthday, and that's an AAU organization that has helped keep thousands upon tens of thousands of kids off the street, help them get scholarships, help a lot of kids that was not about to make the right turn, but about to make that left turn, but we helped them get back on the straight and narrow path. So I want to give a shout out to Coach Mill and the Oakland Soldiers and all the other AAU organizations across the nation, not just basketball, but that helps and helps give back to the youth. So one of my sayings, like I get a lot of friends that say, oh man, it's bad out there and these kids ain't worth nothing. And I always ask them, what have you done to give back? Like if you ain't out there giving back to the community, then you part of the problem too.
Man, word up.
For sure, no doubt about it. That's well spoken.
Right on, man. Hey, well, with that being said, man, Rodell, I want to thank you for coming on. I know you got to get back to work. It's been a pleasure having you. Definitely want to have you back. Got some things developed. We got a couple of topics we didn't get a chance to get into, but we'll get into those a little later. I would like to plug one thing in me as a person I am today. I would like to plug all the people in the community of Dixmoor, Harvey, Southside Chicago, from Carpenter Street Troop, all the people that taught me about what it meant to be a black man in America, what challenges I was going to be up against. Dr. Leon Hendricks, one of our models at Rosa Parks was, you can do it, you just got to stick to it.
We just stick to it.
And I never let that, if you quit, it's game over. So, so as long as you keep fighting, you got a shot. And I just want to thank all those educators from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. I never had a white principal or white math teacher. I had all black educators. Not saying I couldn't learn from white educators, but it was nice to know now that I'm 50, I can sit back and say that I was actually taught black to be a black man by black people, by black teachers, by black principals. And a lot of kids out west don't get to see that. They don't get to see that level of authority that's brown skinned, you know. So I just want to thank all the people in Chicago that helped make me be the nice, well-rounded person that I
Hey,
am.
hey, Mark, no doubt about it, man. Circle Drive for life, man. Much love.
Yes, sir. Hey, Rodell, have a nice weekend. Ken, thanks for coming on. Peace and love.
KP, I'm going to holler at you when I get to the Bay.
For sure. Get at me.
All right, yeah.
All right, Ro. Stay up.
Yeah.
Wow, what a nice ending.